Alright guys, in this section, what we want to do is we want to make our output class something that Vixen will be able to see. Um, Basically, Vixen supplies interfaces which basically define what your plugin needs to have in it in order for Vixen to be able to use it. To access that, we already have our references set up. To make our output plugin, we're going to make it an event-driven output plugin. All you do is right at the end of your class name there, just put a colon, start typing I event, and you'll see it pops up there. It's the top one. Just hit tab and it'll fill it the rest of the way in. So that's actually something that's supplied by Vixen in order for us to use. To implement it, you just right click on top of it, go to implement interface, click implement, and you'll see it will create a bunch of functions that Vixen needs in order for you to make your plugin. In this section, we're gonna run through a couple of the simple ones, get the easy ones out of the way before we start diving into the more difficult stuff. These ones, author, description, and name, these are simple ones to fill in. You're just returning strings. Basically, when Vixen needs the information, it's just going to ask your plugin returns the information. So for author, just highlight and delete what was there. Just type return, and you can put in your name or mine if you want to blame me if something goes wrong. Description, we'll just give a small description. This is output plugin tutorial. And the name. The name of it, we're just going to name it tutorial. Okay, at this point, actually, if we built the DLL file, we would actually see it now in the list of Vixen plugins, but it would have a funny name. And I'll show you an example when we check it out in Vixen. Basically, the name of it would be tutorial dot output plugin, and it's not a very user-friendly name. So to get around that, all you do is you make another function, call it public override toString. You hit tab when you see toString pop up. And all you have to do, instead of returning base.toString, we're going to return this.name. So actually what it does is when this is called, it's actually calling this function to return the name tutorial. So that'll give it a nicer look. Real quick before we build it and just make sure it's working. Hardware map. This would be if you're using a serial port or parallel port. This is where you would return the information for that. We are not using that. I don't remember the details on how to return that information. It's been a while since I looked at that. But if you want to find that out, all you do is you go on to Google, do a search for Reflector, download that, and then using that you can open up like the Renard plugin, for example, and you can look into the hardware map function in the Renard plugin to get specifics on how you want to return that. So since we're not going to use it, we're going to return a new hardware map 0. That kind of bypasses it for us. So we can go ahead and build it. That will build it, and if you remember in the first part, we have it building directly into our directory. So we can open it up in Vixen. I just want to show you that it is going to pop up. Vixen, we can create a new sequence, standard sequence. None of this stuff matters. We just want to get to the plugin section, set up plugins, and you will see it will show up in our list right there. And if you remember, I was talking about a funny name. If you didn't add that override to string, this is the format it would come out. It would just not a nice looking name. So we can't go ahead and add it because we get a bunch of errors because we didn't fill in enough stuff. But I just wanted to show you that it does show up in there. I'm going to make this one short. We'll cut this off right here because the next couple ones are going to be pretty long. So that's the real simple stuff there. The next one we're going to discuss what gets called and when. So let me post this up and then I'll get working on the part 3.